The Denunciation of the Jews by Ginzberg. His resolve to ruin the Jews taken, Haman appeared before Ahasuerus with his accusation against them. There is a certain people, he said, the Jews, scattered abroad and dispersed among the peoples in all the provinces of the kingdom. They are proud and presumptuous. In Tebet in the depth of winter, they bathe in warm water, and they sit in cold water in summer. Their religion is diverse from the religion of every other people, and their laws from the laws of every other land. To our laws they pay no heed, our religion finds no favor with them, and the decrees of the king they do not execute. When their eye falls upon us, they spit out before us, and they consider us as unclean vessels. When we levy them for the king's service, they either jump upon the wall and hide within the chambers, or they break through the walls and escape. If we hasten to arrest them, they turn upon us, glare at us with their eyes, grind their teeth, stamp their feet, and so intimidate us that we cannot hold them fast. They do not give us their daughters unto wives, nor do they take our daughters unto wives. If one of them has to do the king's service, he idles all the day long. If they want to buy aught of us, they say, this is a day for doing business. But if we want to buy aught of them, they say, we may do no business today, and thus we can buy nothing from them on their market days. Their time they pass in this wise. The first hour of the day they say they need for reciting the Shema, the second for praying, the third for eating, the fourth for saying grace to give thanks to God for the food and drink he has granted them. The fifth hour they devote to their business affairs. In the sixth they already feel the need of rest. In the seventh their wives call for them, saying, come home, ye weary ones who are so exhausted by the king's service. The seventh day they celebrate as their Sabbath. They go to the synagogues on that day, read out of their books, translate pieces from their prophets, curse our king and execrate our government, saying, this is the day whereon the great God rested, so may he grant us rest from the heathen. The women pollute the waters with their ritual baths, which they take after the 7 days of their defilement. On the 8th day after the birth of sons, they circumcise them mercilessly, saying, this shall distinguish us from all other nations. At the end of 30 days, and sometimes 29, they celebrate the beginning of the month. In the month of Nisan, they observe 8 days of Passover, beginning the celebration by kindling a fire of brushwood to burn up the leaven. They put all the leaven in their homes out of sight before they use the unleavened bread, saying, this is the day whereon our fathers were redeemed from Egypt. Such is the festival they call Pessah. They go to their synagogues, read out of their books, and translate from the writings of the prophets, saying, as the leaven has been removed out of our houses, so may this wicked dominion be removed from over us. Again in Siwan they celebrate 2 days, on which they go to their synagogues, recite the Shema and offer up prayers, read out of the Torah, and translate from the books of their prophets, curse our king and execrate our government. This is the holiday which they call Azarta, the closing festival. They ascend to the roofs of their synagogues, and throw down apples, which are picked up by those below, with the words, as these apples are gathered up, so may we be gathered together from our dispersion among the heathen. They say they observe this festival, because on these days the Torah was revealed to their ancestors on Mount Sinai. On the 1st of Tishri they celebrate the new year again. They go to their synagogues, read out of their books, translate pieces from the writings of their prophets, curse our king, execrate our government, and blow the trumpets, saying, on this day of memorial may we be remembered unto good, and our enemies unto evil. On the 9th day of the same month they slaughter cattle, geese, and poultry. They eat and drink and indulge in dainties, they and their wives, their sons and their daughters. But the 10th day of the same month they call the great fast, and all of them fast, they together with their wives, their sons, and their daughters, yea, they even torture their little children without mercy, forcing them to abstain from food. They say, on this day our sins are pardoned, and are added to the sum of the sins committed by our enemies. They go to their synagogues, read from their books, translate from the writings of their prophets, curse our king, and execrate our government, saying, may this empire be wiped off from the face of the earth like unto our sins. They supplicate and pray that the king may die, and his rule be made to cease. On the 15th of the same month they celebrate the Feast of Tabernacles. They cover the roofs of their houses with foliage, they resort to our parks, where they cut down palm branches for their festal wreaths, pluck the fruit of the etrog, and cause havoc among the willows of the brook, by breaking down the hedges in their quest after Hoshonot, saying, as does the king in the triumphal procession, so do we. Then they repair to their synagogues to pray, and read out of their books, and make circuits with their Hoshonot, all the while jumping and skipping like goats, so that there is no telling whether they curse us or bless us. This is Sukkot, as they call it, and while it lasts they do none of the king's service, for they maintain all work is forbidden them on these days. In this way they waste the whole year with tomfoolery and fiddle-faddle, only in order to avoid doing the king's service. At the expiration of every period of 50 years they have a jubilee year, and every 7th year is a year of release, during which the land lies fallow, for they neither sow nor reap therein, and sell us neither fruits nor other products of the field, so that those of us who live among them die of hunger. At the end of every period of 12 months they observe the new year, at the end of every 30 days the new moon, and every 7th day is the Sabbath, the day on which, as they say, the Lord of the world rested. 112. After Haman had finished his arraignment of the Jews, God said, Thou didst well enumerate the holidays of the Jews, yet thou didst omit the 2 Purim and Shushan Purim, which the Jews will celebrate to commemorate thy fall. Clever though Haman's charge was, the vindication of the Jews was no whit less clever, for they found a defender in the archangel Michael. While Haman was delivering his indictment, he spoke thus to God, O Lord of the world, thou knowest well that the Jews are not accused of idolatry, nor of immoral conduct, nor of shedding blood, they are accused only of observing thy Torah. God pacified him, As thou livest, I have not abandoned them, I will not abandon them. Haman's denunciations of the Jewish people found a ready echo in the heart of the king. He replied, I too desire the annihilation of the Jews, but I fear their God, for he is mighty beyond compare, and he loves his people with a great love. Whoever rises up against them, he crushes under their feet. Just think of Pharaoh. Should his example not be a warning to us? He ruled the whole world, yet because he oppressed the Jews, he was visited with frightful plagues. God delivered them from the Egyptians and cleft the sea for them, a miracle never done for any other nation. And when Pharaoh pursued them with an army of 600,000 warriors, he and his host together were drowned in the sea. Thy ancestor Amalek, O Haman, attacked them with 400,000 heroes, and all of them God delivered into the hands of Joshua, who slew them. Sisera had 40,000 generals under him, each one commander of 100,000 men, yet they all were annihilated. The God of the Jews ordered the stars to consume the warriors of Sisera, and then he caused the great general to fall into the power of a woman, to become a byword and a reproach forever. Many and valorous rulers have risen up against them, they all were cast down by their God and crushed unto their everlasting disgrace. Now then, can we venture aught against them? Haman, however, persisted. Day after day he urged the king to consent to his plan. Ahasuerus thereupon called together a council of the wise men of all nations and tongues. To them he submitted the question, whether the Jews ought not to be destroyed, seeing they differed from all other peoples. The sage counsellors inquired, Who is it that desires to induce thee to take so fatal a step? If the Jewish nation is destroyed, the world itself will cease to be, for the world exists only for the sake of the Torah studied by Israel. Yea, the very sun and moon shed their light only for the sake of Israel, and were it not for him, there were neither day nor night, and neither dew nor rain would moisten the earth. More than this, all other nations beside Israel are designated as strangers by God, but Israel he called in his love a people near to him, and his children. If men do not suffer their children and kinsmen to be attacked with impunity, how much less will God sit by quiet when Israel is assailed? God, the ruler over all things, over the powers in heaven above and on earth beneath, over the spirits and the souls, God with whom it lies to exalt and to degrade, to slay and to revive. Haman was ready with a reply to these words of the wise. The God who drowned Pharaoh in the sea, and who did all the wonders and signs ye have recounted, that God is now in his dotage, he can neither see nor protect. For did not Nebuchadnezzar destroy his house, burn his palace, and scatter his people to all corners of the earth, and he was not able to do one thing against it? If he had had power and strength, would he not have displayed them? This is the best proof that he was waxed old and feeble. When the heathen sages heard these arguments advanced by Haman, they agreed to his plan, and put their signature to an edict decreeing the persecution of the Jews. 113.